Story number 5. The Boy That Was Named Trouble. In one of the many coeds or places with this name, in ancient and forest-covered Wales, there was a man who had one of the most beautiful mares in all the world. Yet great misfortunes befell both this coed mare and her owner. Every night on the 1st of May, the mare gave birth to a pretty little colt. Yet no one ever saw or could ever tell what became of any one or all of the colts. Each and all, and one by one, they disappeared. Nobody knew where they were or went or what became of them. At last, the owner, who had no children and loved little horses, determined not to lose another. He girded on his sword and with his trusty spear stood guard all night in the stable to catch the mortal robber, as he supposed he must be. When on this same night of May 1st, the mare foaled again, and the colt stood up on its long legs, the man greatly admired the young creature. It looked already as if it could, with its own legs, run away and escape from any wolf that should chase it, hoping to eat it up. But at this moment, a great noise was heard outside the stable. The next moment, a long arm with a claw at the end of it was poked through the window hole to seize the colt. Instantly the man drew his sword, and with one blow the claw part of the arm was cut off, and it dropped inside with the colt. Hearing a great cry and tumult outside, the owner of the mare rushed forth into the darkness. But though he heard howls of pain, he could see nothing, so he returned. There, at the door, he found a baby, with hair as yellow as gold, smiling at him. Besides its swaddling clothes, it was wrapped up in flame-coloured satin. As it was still night, the man took the infant to the bed and laid it alongside of his wife, who was asleep. Now, this good woman loved children, though she had none of her own, and so when she woke up in the morning and saw what was beside her, she was very happy, and she resolved to pretend that it was her own. So she told her women that she had borne the child, and they called him Gouri of the Golden Hair. The baby boy grew up fast, and when only 2 years old, was as strong as most children are at 6. Soon he was able to ride the colt that was born on the May night, and the two were as playmates together. Now it chanced that the man had heard the tale of Queen Rhiannon, wife of Powach, Prince of Dyfed. She had become the mother of a baby boy, but it was stolen from her at night. The 6 serving women, whose duty it was to attend the queen and guard her child, were lazy and had neglected their duty. They were asleep when the baby was stolen away. To excuse themselves and be saved from punishment, they invented a lying story. They declared that Rhiannon had devoured the child, her own baby. The wise men of the court believed the story which the 6 wicked women had told, and Rhiannon, the queen, though innocent, was condemned to do penance. She was to serve as a porter to carry visitors and their baggage from outdoors into the castle. Every day for many months, through the hours of daylight, she stood in public disgrace in front of the castle of Narberth, at the stone block on which riders on horses dismounted from the saddle. When anyone got off at the gate, she had to carry him on her back into the hall. As the boy grew up, his foster father scanned his features closely, and it was not long before he made up his mind that Powach was his father and Rhiannon was his mother. One day, with the boy riding on his coat and with 2 knights keeping him company, the owner of the Coed mare came near the castle of Narberth. There they saw the beautiful Rhiannon sitting on the horse block at the gate. When they were about to dismount from their horses, the lovely woman spoke to them thus: "Chieftains, go no further thus. I will carry every one of you on my back into the palace." Seeing their looks of astonishment, she explained, "This is my penance for the charge brought against me of slaying my son and devouring him." One and all of the 4 refused to be carried, and went into the castle on their own feet. There Powach, the prince, welcomed them and made a feast in their honour. It being night, Rhiannon sat beside him. After dinner, when the time for storytelling had come, the chief guest told the tale of his mare and the colt, and how he cut the clawed hand and then found the boy on the doorstep. Then, to the joy and surprise of all, the owner of the Coed mare, putting the golden-haired boy before Rhiannon, cried out, "Behold, lady, here is thy son, and whoever they were who told the story and lied about your devouring your own child have done you a grievous wrong." Everyone at the table looked at the boy, and all recognized the lad at once as the child of Powach and Rhiannon. "Here ends my trouble, Pryderi," cried out Rhiannon. Thereupon one of the chiefs said, "Well, hast thou named thy child Trouble?" And henceforth Pryderi was his name. Soon it was made known by the vision and word of the bards and seers that all the mischief had been wrought by the wicked fairies, and that the 6 serving women had been under their spell when they lied about the queen. Powach, the castle lord, was so happy that he offered the man of Coed rich gifts of horses, jewels, and dogs. But this good man felt repaid in delivering a pure woman and loving mother from an undeserved shame and disgrace by wisdom and honesty according to common duty. As for Pryderi, he was educated as a king's son ought to be, in all gentle arts, and was trained in all manly exercises. After his father died, Pryderi became ruler of the realm. He married Kieva, the daughter of a powerful chieftain, who had a pedigree as long as the bridle used to drive a 10-horse chariot. It reached back to Prince Casnar of Britain. Pryderi had many adventures, which are told in the Mabinogion, which is the great storehouse of Welsh hero wonder and fairy tales. The end.